Hi, my name is Natalie and I'll be filming my practical assessment by AIPT today. So today I'll be working with my client Aaron, who you'll meet shortly. But before we start that, just want to run through a bit of the OH&S and risk assessment type information. So this is where the strength training will be taking place. I made sure that the area is clear and it's all been organised so we can go through the exercises together. There's no one else in the gym, as you can see, for the time being, which means that we won't need to swap between equipment or anything or wait our turn. It's all free for us to use. I've also planned and understood the session which I'll be going through with Aaron today, and I'll have explained that to him, which we'll also look at shortly. The equipment has all been checked, and that just to make sure that it's all safe and in good working condition to reduce the likelihood of an injury occurring and prevent any sorts of accidents happening and reduce risk. And I've also removed all the clutter around so the space is nice and clear and everything that isn't needed is out the way. So this next part is meeting with the client. So today my client is Aaron. Hi Aaron.
Hi.
So my name's Natalie, we've met before.
Yes.
What we're going to go through is just some general health checks to make sure everything's okay. Now if you could tell me your age?
26.
26. And what do you do for work?
Hospitality manager.
No worries. Does that require you to be physically fit or
Yes,
require
it does.
what sort of physical activities do you do?
Lifting heavy kegs, which can be upwards of 60 kilos, climbing up and down a set of stairs, running around a bar or a wet area, and day-to-day operations, so walking around, not sitting down for long periods of time.
Yeah, no worries. And do you currently have any injuries that I should know about? Any pain?
No.
No? Okay, no worries. And now you've trained before and you've used this gym?
Yes, I have.
Okay, no worries. And so before we completed this little check, just to make sure that he has no risk of cardiovascular disease, no lower back pain, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and you're young, being 26, and generally you're quite fit. Can you tell me how often you usually train at the gym?
Try to train a minimum of 3 times a week.
Okay, and what type of exercises? Is it both strength and cardio based?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Alright, so I've explained to you what we'll be doing today, however I'll just run through it again briefly if you're happy with that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll be starting with a fitness test just to look at your muscular endurance, and that we can compare to a normal population. Also helps with setting up your plan and working out what weights and your strength. I'll then take you through 3 simple strength exercises, which we'll go through later, and they'll take part in this gym. And then this will be followed by some cardio training, which will happen elsewhere at another gym where we have access to treadmill and cycle machine. And then after all of that, we'll be looking at some special populations, for example, if you were to have lower back pain, etc. And then following that, we'll end the session with some stretching.
Yep.
Perfect. And now, because we've gone through all these fitness screening, there's no limitations, which is great, and you don't require any clearance because of this to train.
Correct.
Alright, so what's next is we're going to do a fitness test.
Yep.
Now the fitness test I've chosen for you is the push-up test.
Okay.
So what that requires is you to do as many push-ups as you can until you can't do any more.
Yep.
Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate to you correct technique first. I want you to look closely, listen to what I'm saying, the instructions I give, and then we'll get you to do it.
Okay.
Alright, and then I've got a chart here as well. So what we'll do at the end is I'll tell you how you went according to the normal population and how they would do for your age bracket, and then we can talk a bit more about the results after that. Alright, so first I'll demonstrate to you. So for this test, what you need to do is you need to come down onto your hands and your knees.
Yep.
Pop up onto here, then you put your feet out like you're getting into a plank position. Alright, and then now that we've got a nice straight position, we're going to go down and put our chest to the floor and press up. That's 1 rep. So down again and press up. Now, when we go down, we want to focus on inhaling, and when we push up, we want to focus on exhaling. So keeping a nice straight back, pushing down, exhale, inhale, exhale. Alright, do you understand all that?
Yes.
So what this is looking at is looking at your muscular endurance. It's also testing your pec major and your pec minor, as well as your triceps.
Yep.
Okay, so when you're ready, I'll get you to start. Jumping up, nice straight back. Good form. Eight. 16, 17, 20. Alright, so you got 20 there. I'll just come back up on the seat and we'll talk a bit about the results. Okay, so 20 push-ups is a good effort. What that does is that puts you into the average for your age bracket. So being 26 years old, you fall into the 29-year-old age bracket, and you're looking at an average of say 17 to 29 push-ups. And so you're fairly, you're in the middle of that section, getting 20. So now what we'll do is we'll use that results, and what we can do is we'll tailor your exercise program to look at working on improving that strength if that's something you want to do. And later on down the track, we'll repeat the test, and that way we'll have two results which we compare and see how you've improved and how you've changed.
Cool.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Happy with that.
The next one is going to be the single arm weighted row, and after that we'll be doing lunges with the barbell for extra weight. Alright, so first I'm going to demonstrate to you how to do the dumbbell chest press. And this is really going to isolate the chest muscles and work them, so that includes your pec major, your pec minor, also your lateral delts and your triceps. Sound good?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do it, then I'm going to get you to jump in and see how you go. Alright, so first we're going to grab the weights, so bend down, picking them up, and we're just going to balance them on our knees. Alright, so we're going to stabilise our core, lean back, and making sure our core is nice and stable, turning the hands out, knuckles up to the ceiling, and we want to come down so our arms are parallel with the ground. So then we push up, both arms at the same time till they meet in the middle, squeezing as we go, and then coming back down. Both arms at the same time. So exhale when we come up, and inhale when we go down. Alright, how did that look?
Good.
Yep. So I'm going to get you to do 10 of them. I'll be standing behind you. If you have any issues, I'll be there to support. Alright. So throughout this, I want you to talk to me, tell me where you're feeling it. And if you have any pain or anything, just let me know straight away. Same as if you can't hold the weights anymore.
Sure.
Coming down, engage those core muscles, turning the hands and knuckles up to the ceiling. Alright. So breathing in when you come up, breathing out, when you come up. Breathing in when you go down. Out when you go up. And in when you go down. Good work. Five. Elbows. 6. Good breathing. 3 more. 9, and last one. Great work. Bring them down and sitting up nice and slow, and dumbbells down on the ground. Alright, so where were you feeling that?
Mainly my chest.
Yeah, so that's where we want to be feeling it, because obviously we're working those chest muscles. You did well, you did really well. You were a bit wobbly through the abdominal region when you're laying on the bench, which made you a bit unstable. So what we want to focus on is really engaging those core muscles throughout the exercise to help with stability, and bringing the arms down at the same time and up together. The other thing is really focusing on your breathing throughout. Exhale when you push up and inhaling when you come down. Sound good? Perfect. Do you have any other questions?
Nope.
Alright, all done. Okay, so the next exercise which we are going to be doing is the single arm dumbbell row. Have you done one of these before?
Yes.
No worries. So the muscles which this focuses on are the latissimus dorsi, the rhomboids, and also a little bit of the rear delt is involved as well. So first, like the other exercise, I'm going to demonstrate it to you. I'll explain the process and then I'll get you to copy. Sound good?
Yep.
Alright, so if you just want to jump over there where you can see. So first of all, we need to pop our hand down here, nice and firm and flat on the bench. Then we're going to make sure our back is straight, nice and straight like this. We're going to avoid jerking around when we do the movement because this will cause injury, alright? And then of course what we want to do, same with every exercise, we want to make sure our core is nice and braced. This gives us a bit more stability as well. So then next we're going to lean down, making sure we lean with it, and grabbing the weight, making sure we bring it up, bring it all the way up to our chest, and down. And down, just like that. So our core should be maintained throughout the exercise. And of course, with every other exercise, breathing is important. So we want to make sure we breathe out on the way up and in on the way down. So, and popping the legs down. And now we can do the same thing on the other side. We just swap the weight to the other side. Other leg comes up, other hand faces. Sound good? Perfect. I'll get you to give it a go now. Leaning down. Great work. Now your back's nice and straight. Perfect. Make sure your core is embraced throughout. Great work. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now lean down and pop the weight down. Good work. And up on the other side. Three, 2, 1, and now popping the weight down. Perfect. And how did that feel?
Yeah, quite well.
I'll get you to take a seat.
Yeah.
So that was good. The thing that I noticed straight away was both times when you jumped up onto the bench, you actually arch your back, but then you self-correct it and you get that nice flat back once you've picked up the weight. So just make sure throughout the exercise you're focusing on nice tight core and back straight. Sound good?
Yep.
Perfect. Let's move on to the next exercise.
Sure.
Alright, so the third and final strength exercise which we'll be doing today is the lunge. We're just going to do it unweighted, so body weight lunge, focusing on correct technique, and then later on we can progress and we can add a weight. But for now, just keep it simple, don't keep it to body weight. Alright, so like always, I'll demonstrate and I'll get you to copy afterwards. So we want to start just like this, our feet roughly shoulder width apart, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring one leg forward and we're going to follow with the other leg, and that leg's going to come down. So stepping forward and back up, forward and back up, making sure you have a nice straight back, core braced, going forward. deep hardcore brace because we can put our hands on our hip and this sometimes helps. So I'll get you to start off by doing that as well when we do it. Ready, leg forward and back. So what we want to do is as well with our breathing, focusing on that, breathing in on the way down and out on the way up. So now what I did there was alternating. So it was one leg and then the other leg. Otherwise you can just do one leg, but now I'll get you to do the alternating ones which I just did. You ready? Alright. Try to take a bit of a bigger step forward. Alright, just going to stop you there. So what I notice is when you do it, I need you to look at your feet because we want to make sure our knees aren't going over our toes. So I just want to correct you because if we do that, it can cause an injury. So I'll just quickly show you again. So making sure our knee is in line with our foot and our toe, doesn't go over, okay? And we want a nice angle between. So just give it another shot. Great work. 3 more. Last one. Nice. So I'll just get you to come back in. Lunges, we're focusing on our hamstrings, our glute muscles, and it also involves the gastrocnemius, which is the calf muscle. Did you feel it in those muscles?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. And how did you feel that went?
Quite sore. As my technique isn't that well, I felt my legs were a bit wobbly and a bit unstable, but other than that, quite good.
No worries. Well, yep, that's something that we work on together. We'll work on getting that technique correct, but just make sure that knees stay behind our toes, back straight and core embraced.
Yep.
Perfect. Alrighty, so welcome back. We're going to be doing the 2 cardiovascular exercises now. So we've moved into the gym where we have access to the rower and the spin bike, which are the 2 machines that we're going to be using for this exercise. So what we'll do first is we'll start with the rower, and I'll get you to hop on and I'll run through what we're going to do. We're going to go for a minute and then we'll stop and we'll go onto the spin bike. So jumping onto the machine, I've already adjusted the feet, so it should be right for you. If you can pop your feet into the strap and strap them in, so the strap should be positioned around the middle of your foot. Perfect. Alrighty, so we'll look at the resistance. Now I've placed that on number 8 already. I'll come around and show you where the resistance is so you can change it for future reference. Perfect, so I placed the resistance at level 8 because I know that you're fairly fit as we discussed earlier. And so 8 is where it should be in order to try and get your heart rate up, but also so we're not using too much muscle strength and rather focusing on the cardiovascular aspect of it. So now this row machine, it turns on automatically when you start rowing. So what we'll get you to do is we'll start you rowing. So it adjusts from 0 to 10, as you can see on the resistance. Good work. So 1's the lowest and 10 is the highest, and we've got you sitting at 8. Alrighty, so you picked up the handle and the resistance is there, and now you're pushing back, making sure you've got a nice straight back and the chain is nice and firm as you pull back. So you should be moving it like you've got it, your legs, then your body, followed by your arms. Now we're going to keep going for a minute. Great work. Legs, followed by your body, followed by your arms. 5 more seconds. 2, 1. Alright, slow down and coming back. Perfect. Undo the straps and make sure you get up nice and slow as your heart rate should be up. Now come take a seat and we'll have a bit of a chat. Alrighty, how did you find that?
Good. Felt like I was using more of my heart rate's definitely elevated, and I'm a little bit out of breath, as you can see. I felt like I was using more of my cardiovascular than I was muscle.
Yeah, so that's exactly what the rower machine is intended for. So we're looking at the cardiovascular side of it. It's an extremely effective cardiovascular machine designed to use the whole body. So it trains everything from the legs, the core, all the way to the back. So throughout, just make sure that you're stabilising yourself by having a nice tight core muscles throughout. But other than that, it was good. So if you wanted to stand up, shake out your legs a bit, and we'll move on to the spin bike now. Alrighty, so what we've got here is the spin bike. This is the next machine that we'll be using, and this is also a cardiovascular machine. So this will also, like the rower, get your heart rate up and get your blood pressure up as well. So we've already adjusted this bike to suit you. However, we'll just quickly run through it again so you're aware for next time you come in if you want to do a spin class. But the spin bikes are somewhat more complicated in terms of adjustments than your standard exercise bike, just because there are all these extra knobs that you can adjust to get it to really suit you. So what we've done is, if you stand next to the bike, what I'll get you to do, so the seat lines up nicely with your femoral head, so your hip joint. If you don't know where this is, you can always bend your knee and you can see. Perfect. So we've got that nicely lined up. Now we've also, and we've done that by using this knob down here. We've given it a good twist, so to make sure it's nice and tight and secure. If you need to undo it, you can just loosen it and move it up and down. Now the other knob which this has is this one here. So we changed this so it suits where he's sitting on the bike. This can move the seat forward and backwards. So give it a good twist and make sure it's nice and tight. Now if you want to jump up on the bike, we'll check that that's all okay. So lock your feet into the straps. Perfect, so put it into the one that's further down, swing your leg across and place it into the other one. No worries, and now just make sure the straps are nice and tight, your feet are secure. Perfect. Alrighty. So when we lean forward, what we want to make sure is that we're holding onto the handlebars. We can reach nicely, but our back is still maintained in that neutral position. Now another knob we've got here is the resistance. Now as you can see, this machine doesn't have a screen, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to start you pedaling, increase the resistance to where you feel comfortable, but you can still feel that you're moving and that your body is working hard and your heart rate's getting up. And then when we find that nice resistance level to suit you, we'll keep it there for a good minute and we'll keep you pedaling. Alright, so if you want to start, how's that feeling?
Yeah, quite good.
Too easy?
A little bit easy.
Yeah, so just twist the knob. Yep, clockwise, and that increases your resistance. Now during a spin class, this would be adjusted up and down throughout, so it's nice and easy to turn to adjust the resistance to suit you. You're still pedaling and it looks quite easy. Do you want to up the resistance a little bit more?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Yeah, good.
Can you start to feel it in your legs?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we've got it at a good level. You should be able to talk, but not be able to talk too much because you'll be getting your heart rate up. So now that we've got it, we're going to continue at this pace for a minute. Alright. Make sure you're not arching your back. Great work, keep pedaling. Good work, you've got a nice pace going there. It's not too fast, but it looks comfortable. That's 30 20 seconds down, we're halfway through. Make sure you focus on your breathing throughout. 45 seconds down. Should start to feel it now. Great work, keep going. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Now with these machines, it's important not to do what you do and suddenly stop. We want to slowly come off it, because otherwise you can stop too quickly and it can cause, your heart rate to you can feel a bit unsteady if you are going at a faster pace. So next time, just slowly pedal down to get your heart rate back down. And when you feel comfortable, jump off the bike. Great work. So how did that feel?
Quite tiresome. Felt it quite a lot in my legs. Not doing a lot of spin classes before, I felt it more in my legs. But also I did feel it in raising my heart rate and getting the blood flowing throughout my system.
No worries. So this is perfect cardiovascular exercise to do as well. How did you feel this compared to the rower?
I preferred the rower personally. I felt I got more of a workout out of the rower, but I can definitely see the benefits of doing a spin class and getting on a spin bike.
Yeah, so with the rower you are working everything from your lower body to your upper body as you've got to pull towards you. However, with this one, your upper body is a lot more stationary, which is good. Alrighty, so we've now completed the cardiovascular machines, and we did the rower to start, and then we did the spin bike. Now, how did you feel about those two machines?
Yeah, good. Got my heart rate up and got the blood flowing throughout my system, and feel my heart rate increasing.
Okay, so that's exactly what we wanted to achieve. It's all about getting the heart rate up, the blood pressure up, and those two machines are perfect for doing that. They're both resistance adjustable, so each time you get on them, you can adjust it to the resistance that you want. And yeah, they're great workouts in general. They use your body, their whole body for the rower, like you said before, and that was your preference. And that's something that you can incorporate into your workouts or into a circuit. Now, a circuit is what we're going to be doing now. So we're going to be doing small circuit training, and by that we're going to be doing 30 seconds on and 10 seconds break, and this is what's known as interval training. So it's also designed to get your heart rate up. What we'll be doing is we'll be doing light weights, high reps. So during the 30 seconds, we're going to be doing as many reps as you can, making sure that you push yourself as hard as you can, but you still have correct technique. And then we're going to have 10-second break, move on to the next one. So the 4 exercises which we've chosen for the circuit today are the box jump, the Russian kettlebell swings, wall slams, and also alternating jumping lunges. Now the first one being the box jump. I'll demonstrate all of these to you by the way before we give it a go, but just so you're aware and you have a bit of a background on it. Usually for box jumps we do 24 inches for males and 20 inches high for females. But what I'm going to get you to do is, because we're doing high jumps and high reps, I'm going to get you to start on the lower one, just so I can see your technique. We'll keep you going with that, see how you go, and then for the next circuit we can look at increasing the height if you feel that it's too easy. But just for safety purposes, I want to see you starting on the lower one, just so I can get a hold of your technique and correct anything that might not be correct. Kettlebell swings, it's all about maintaining a tight core and engaging the glutes, the hamstrings throughout the movements. And then for the ball slams, we just want to make sure we've got a nice straight back in neutral position, keeping your bum down and lifting with your hips and then your arms throwing down the ball and catching it. And then alternating jumping lunges, same as your normal lunges. However, it requires a lot more control, engaging that core, because we will be adding that extra jump in there. Alrighty, so I'd like to give you a demonstration and then I'll get you to jump in and try the circuit out. So first we've got here is the box jump. So what we're doing is simply jumping through the legs. We're going to jump up. So just like this. Both legs them together and then jumping down. Jump up and up and down. Keeping nice soft knees, not jumping too much. I'll just show you then we'll start with. So from here we'll move on to kettlebell swings. So bending the knees, keeping back straight, picking up the weight. We're going to start low and thrust upwards. As many reps as you can for 30 seconds. Make sure you've got correct technique and you're engaging that core. Alright, wall slants, picking up the weight, bend knees at all times so we don't cause any back injuries. Picking up the weight and down. Catching, dropping, catching. Just like that. And then from here, we're going to go into jumping lunges. So start in a lunge position, knees behind toes. You can use your hands to help stabilise. And then we're going to jump. Soft. We want to really control that movement so your knee doesn't bang against the ground and you maintain a steady posture and position. How does that all sound?
Good.
Perfect. So we've got the clock up here. What we're going to do is I'm going to get you started box jumps and move through.
Good.
So when you're ready, let me know.
Ready.
Perfect. So 10 seconds rest, starting now. 3, 2, 1, go. Great work. Just keep your core tight so you make sure you're steady when you land. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds break. Move to the next exercise. Get ready. Picking up the weight. 2, 1, go. Good technique. Great work. Keep pushing. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next exercise. 10 seconds break between. Make sure you maintain your breathing throughout. Picking up the ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Slam it down. Good technique, really good. Keep up that pace, you're doing well. 3, 2, 1, stop. 10-second break. Alright, 5 more seconds, getting into a lunge position. 2, 1, go. Wide legs. If it's too high, just go back to a normal lunge. Alright, I'm going to get you to start now. Alrighty, and we're going to have a break there. And I'll just run you through a bit of that. Now, most of it I was really happy with. I did have a couple of issues with your lunges towards the end. You got to really make sure that when you're doing that technique, you have nice wide legs you're coming too much into this position, and that's not what we want. We want to make sure you're out, wide legs, and then when you jump, the back leg has to go really far back. So this knee isn't coming over your toes, and you maintain this position as opposed to this position, which is what you're getting into. Now what I suggest is, just come forward to me, Seth. What I suggest is, if it is a matter of you getting tired, then just drop back and do a normal regular lunge, stopping feet. Because that is the technique is the most important part of what we're doing here. You still achieve the same results, but it's technique over pace really. How did that feel?
By the end I was pretty tired.
Yeah.
I didn't honestly think I'd be that tired by the end of it, but my legs were starting to feel sore, especially by the time I got to the jumping lunges.
Yeah, and I mean it showed, but that's okay. All we got to do, all it means is you have to work on improving your cardiovascular endurance, and that way what we can do is we can swap out those jumping lunges, put in normal lunges, and when that cardiovascular endurance builds up, we can then swap and make it a bit harder by going into jumping ones. Sound good?
Yeah.
So now what would happen is you would have a minute break, and then we would go back through and we would repeat that 8 times. That's it. Now, between those 8 times we can swap them. We can add in a bit of core exercises like Russian twists, V-ups, just to get that core working and swap a few of those exercises. But what we were focusing on then was interval training, so high intensity and lighter weights. So yeah, how did that feel? You happy with that?
Yeah, it was quite good. Just had my legs are feeling a little bit sore.
No worries, well that's what stretching's for, so how about we leave it there and we get on to the next step, which is a bit of stretching.
Yep.
Okay, so an important part of after exercise is making sure we stretch. Now the 2 stretches which I'm going to run through is a pec major stretch, because we did the dumbbell chest press, and also a gastrocnemius or a calf stretch. So the first one is the pec major stretch. So I'll demonstrate that to you. So what we do is we pop our hand on the wall, just like that. What we're going to do is we're going to lean into it, make sure our hand is nice and firm, and then we're going to slightly turn our body slowly until we feel it. Now we don't want to turn too much, just enough so we get that nice pull. If we force it too much, we can cause an injury. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm. Feel it right there.
Perfect. Alrighty, now swap over and we'll do the other side. Hand up, leaning into it and slowly turn until you can feel a nice pull, but not too much. How's that feel?
Quite good. Stretching it right in there.
No worries. So the whole time we want to make sure our back is straight and our core stays braced. Okay, and so the next stretch that we're going to be doing is the calf stretch. So what we're going to have to do for that one is we're going to pop one foot up on the wall. Our foot's going to make about a 45-degree angle. So our toes are up, our heel is down. Put our hands on the wall, and we're going to lean into that. Now make sure you keep your your leg up nice and straight, and we're going to lean in till we feel that stretch. Can you feel that in your leg?
Mm-hmm.
No worries, so just hold that there. Good work. Alrighty, and changing over. 45-degree angle, toe to wall, heel to floor, hands up, and leaning in. Perfect. We're all done with the stretching. Thank you.
Thank you.
So for this part of my assessment, I'm going to be talking to you about special populations. So special populations which I'm going to be talking about include high blood pressure, lower back pain, and also shoulder injury or shoulder pain. So starting off with high blood pressure, the most common cause is hypertension. So if a person comes to you as a personal trainer, this will be picked up, so if you're doing a review of them and also in your health screening, where you take their blood pressure in order to determine whether it's at a normal level, high or even low. So if a client comes to you and you measure their blood pressure and it falls at around 140/90 or above, it's what's classified as high. Now the client should then be referred onto a medical professional such as a GP in order to gain clearance for exercise. So with high blood pressure clients, overhead exercises should be avoided, including but not limited to shoulder press, heavy bench press, or even heavy back squatting. And this is because all the pressure is accumulating in one large muscle group. So what we do want to do is incorporate more lateral exercises, including exercise like a single arm dumbbell row, one arm chest press, and these types of exercises allow the pressure to be concentrated on one side of the body whilst the other remains at a lower pressure, allowing the blood to flow freely throughout the body. In relation to cardiovascular training with clients with high blood pressure, clients should be encouraged to partake in light cardio exercises 5 times a week, or if they're choosing to engage in more moderate intensity cardio exercises, this should be done around 3 times a week. And also weight training included, like I mentioned before. If it's done in conjunction with a cardiovascular training program, it should be incorporated around 2 times a week. So all this should be taken into consideration with the precautions mentioned earlier, including no overhead weights and not too heavy weights. And as always, ensure that the allied health professionals which are involved are contacted if you're unsure of anything, and clearance has been given prior to the program being started. Now moving on to lower back pain. This is common in today's society, mainly due to individuals living such sedentary lives. So for example, sitting at a desk in an office for most of the day, not getting up regularly to stretch and move around. And this causes a tightening in the hip flexors. So it pulls you forward and it causes a lordosis of the spine, and so it's no longer in its neutral position. And as a result of this, you can come into a hunched over position, and the glutes become a lot weaker. So if a client comes to you as a trainer with lower back pain, it's important to assess their core strength, looking at their transverse abdominis and also their obliques and their abdominal wall. So the training the core can include the exercises such as glute bridges, planks and crunches, for example, to ensure that there is control in the anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. Exercises which should be avoided, for example, back squats and deadlifts, which place compression and shearing forces on the spine and could exacerbate, the pain which they're experiencing in their back. So as a personal trainer, you would write a core focused exercise program in order to reduce this excess pressure and be aiming at lengthening the hip flexors and strengthening the core. Now ensure that it's also important to ensure that throughout this you're in constant contact with the allied health professionals. Just if anything does if more pain is experienced, you get in contact with them, and also like high blood pressure, clearance is given if it's anything more serious. So the last special population which I'll be talking to you about today is shoulder injury, which can include common injuries such as shoulder impingement, which if left untreated, can progress into chronic bursitis, for example, which is where the bursa in the shoulder is irritated by the glenohumeral joint. So similarly to lower back pain, this is common in today's society with people who do office jobs and spend excessive periods of time sitting at a desk. This is because their chest becomes significantly stronger than their back muscles. So the main focus for these clients is to assess and perform a postural assessment and ensure the shoulders are in level, or whether there is a difference in the two shoulders, so whether the left is higher or the right is higher, or if they're both in line, and whether a difference can be seen. And then same as with the scapulars, looking at their shoulder girdle as well and just assessing whether these are in line. With people who experience shoulder injury, it's also important to consider the input from allied health professionals, so such as the physio, and make sure clearance is obtained prior to exercising. A program is then developed to focus on improving the strength of the muscles located around the scapula. So these include the traps and the rhomboids as well as the lats. The program that will be designed by myself, the personal trainer, will include stretches and foam rolling techniques to stretch out the chest muscles and reduce any tightness which is being experienced here. Taking this all into account, I guess you also have to consider the type of the injury that the person is experienced. And if the shoulder pain is from a more serious injury, we need to consult with whoever is treating the client, and this could include the GP or even something more significant such as the surgeon.